Before we get started writing content for your website, I think it's really important to go over who you're writing for. Now, you've already spent some time uncovering who your perfect target market is, who your audience, your tribe of people are. You've also spent some time talking about, thinking about, and learning from them what their pain points are. What's the thing that really keeps them up at night? And you know how you can help them to solve that pain. Now you have a basic understanding of the client you're trying to attract with your website. But not everyone is going to react in the same way to what you write. Remember the golden rule? Treat everyone the way you want to be treated yourself. Well, I'm here to tell you that the golden rule will only work on about 25% of the population. The other 75%, they are not going to like that because they have a different language or a different behavior style. They think differently. They decide differently. They use time differently. They work at a different pace. They communicate differently, handle emotions differently, manage stress differently, and deal with conflicting opinions differently. Based on these differences, we can divide people roughly into 4 different behavior quadrants or 4 different preferred behavior styles that are going to determine how they respond to information and how they respond to what you write on your website. Each style has its own characteristic strengths and weaknesses. Each person has a dominant style, even though they can stretch into the others. And the population is pretty generally evenly divided among the different clusters of behavior. No style is better or worse, and the behavior style of one will create stress for the other styles if they don't understand. So great teams learn to accommodate and include all 4 styles, and great salespeople learn to speak in the language of the person that they're trying to sell to. The first set of behaviors is how assertive other people see you out in the world. In other words, the degree to which one's behaviors are seen by others as being forceful and directive. Half the population is going to be more assertive, the other half of the population less assertive. So if you're more assertive, you're going to be on the right side of the line. And if you're less assertive, you'll be on the left side of the line. So as we're going through this, think about how others see you. Now, the second set of behaviors is a person's responsiveness, or they're outwardly emotional. This is seen by others as showing his or her own emotions or demonstrating awareness of the feelings of others. It's how other people see you. It doesn't mean that if you're less emotionally responsive that you don't have feelings or you don't care about other people. It just means you don't wear it on your sleeve. In this quadrant are what we call the analyticals. Analyticals are all about details and data. They love to manage the data. They like things to be really neat and very accurate, and they appreciate organization and neatness. These are the people who need timed agendas. They need a packet of background information, and they need time to study the information. They always have questions, and so you're going to want to provide answers for them. And they may even dig out information that you haven't included. So make sure that all your background info is up to date as well. Your LinkedIn, your Facebook, all of those sites. They don't mind taking extra time to explore the issues. As a matter of fact, one of their downsides is, hey, they can't make a decision because there might be more info out there. They're the people who walk into a party and they count the chairs. They notice if there's enough napkins for the amount of food that you've set out. And they know how many people showed up, how much the decorations cost, and what the dimensions of your party room are. And here's how you know if someone isn't analytical. They tend to be quieter and they lean back in their chairs. Their voices are softer and even, and they talk about things and data. In this corner, we have the supporters. The supporters are quiet, but they're listening, and they're listening into the emotions in the room. They are all about how everyone's feeling. At a party, they're in the kitchen making sure everyone has enough to eat. They're plumping the pillows behind people. In meetings, they make sure there's consensus. They work for win-win solutions that everyone can live with. Whereas the analyticals are about the data that makes the most sense. You can tell that you're talking to a supporter because they're quieter. They lean back in their chairs. Their voices are soft and often don't carry very well. And they talk about people and feelings. In this quadrant are the drivers. And the drivers are really the driving force behind getting things done. They are very results oriented and they love goals. They are competitive. They love money. They love challenge and they love winning, and they don't like to waste time. Their bumper sticker would be just do it. So when you're dealing with a driver, you want to bottom line everything. They don't want to know how you're going to do it or how people feel about it or how much fun you're going to have doing it. They just want it done. They are quick decision makers. They are driven for success, which sometimes means they'll step on other people. And they're surprised when other people don't agree with them. You can tell that you're talking to a driver. By their body language, they lean forward. They tend to talk louder and their voices carry. And they use their bodies and their hands for emphasis in what they're saying. They talk about results. They talk about things. They talk about the situations and how it all happened. And finally, we come to this quadrant with the promoters. Promoters are visionaries. They're good at grasping the big picture. They often have really big personalities and they have lots and lots of energy. They're great starters, often not great finishers. So if you're selling to a promoter, you can show them how working with you is going to help them to get some of their projects finished. They like to come up with a vision and then let the analyticals and supporters carry it on to completion. They are the party. They're the ones dancing on the table. They are about fun, money, action, possibilities, and positivity. They make quick decisions, often making mistakes because they overlook details. So you want to make sure that they are making a good decision in working with you. They move quickly on to the next idea and they can be scattered. So you want to show them how you can hold them to the task and help them get it done. If you want to sell to a promoter, paint the big picture. Not too many details, just how much fun you're going to have, how much impact you're going to have, how much money you're going to help them to create. Their bumper sticker says, "For a good time, call." You can tell you're talking to a promoter because they lean forward. Their voices tend to carry. They talk with their hands. They're very expressive. And they talk about people and the things that they've done together. Within these 4 major categories are 4 subcategories. So your primary behavior style may be a driver, but you may be a promoter driver or an analytical driver. You'll also have the ability to stretch into the other categories. But in times of stress, or when you're really working on making a big decision, you'll default into your primary behavior style, and so will your prospects. Now that we've outlined the 4 basic behavior styles, go ahead and go through the homework. I'm going to ask you to think about people in your life who belong to the different categories and to stretch yourself this week by relating to them in the way that they want to be related to. In other words, stretch yourself into their behavior style and talk to them in their style. And then next week, we'll start writing content. As always, if you have questions, you have insights you'd like to share, or celebrations, please go to the Facebook forum and let us know. Talk to you soon.